Namaste and welcome to the Essence of Knowledge weekly meeting. As you know, this meeting is a part of the Essence of Knowledge program, which is a complete program for the seekers of knowledge, spiritual knowledge, and it is available for free online on gyanmarg.guru. This meeting is meant for answering your questions, clearing your doubts, helping in your verification and in your practices. All the questions are most welcome, if any. Anurakta has a question. Meaning of unknown is that when nothing remain to know. Now can I say it like that? Nothing remained to know because which remained cannot be known. So that's why we say nothing remained to know. Yes, perfectly yes, correct. The meaning of the word unknowing is nothing remains to be known. And it also means that nothing can be known. And these words are very precise. There is really nothing to know. It is true that nothing can be known, simply because there is nothing to know. It is not that we become incapable of knowing after limit of knowledge is reached. We become totally confused and our intelligence stops working, or we find a wall there which cannot be known. It is not like that. It is not a disability of human beings. It is a fundamental fact that nothing can be known. It is not that we give up, we are defeated in the end of path of knowledge. No, it is revealed that the nature of existence is unknowing. And that is probably very natural, because if we could find something there which could be known like we know everything else, objects, sensations, thoughts, emotions, pictures, sounds, or any other even supernatural sensation, then I would be very, very surprised that there is something in the end which is like this, which can be known fully. But no, it is very meaningful to say that in the end, there is nothing to know. Then what is there? What is this unknowing stage? It is a stage of being, simply being. That is the natural state of existence. It is not a state, but I don't have any word. This is how the existence is. It exists. Now, the notions or ideas that something can be known, something is unknown, I can know something, this human being can know something. These are simply ideas in the mind. They are not true. Just like any other idea, the idea that something can be known is also an idea. It is also ignorance. So what happens is, when we examine what can be known, we always find that our ideas, our concepts, whatever we believed or assumed, turns out to be false. It does not match with our direct experience, and it is completely illogical when we study it. So what happens is, all these ideas and beliefs, they disappear. Then this idea that there is something here which can be known, finally, that also disappears. And what remains is the pure state, pure mind, pure being, pure awareness, pure consciousness, whatever you want to call it. It is Brahman. It is the existence itself. Now, to add anything in it, that I am this existence, I am like this, I am without qualities, these are also again ideas. Although they are not so bad, they are not totally incorrect. But that is also a human thought. Humans are saying this. Existence never says I am existence. Brahman never says I am Brahman. The experiencer never says I am experiencer. They are just there. And that is all there is. There is nothing more. So words will add to ignorance, not to knowledge. As soon as you say, look, I know something about this, whatever there is, as soon as you speak, it becomes wrong. So the final answer is silence. Words are silver, but silence is golden. It has more value. The silence explains what is. After some logical thoughts and logical analysis and very, very accurate statements, everything becomes poetry. It looks like a song, and then the poetry also disappears, and it is all silence. And in silence, there is nothing to know and nothing to tell, nothing to say, nothing to hear. So if I say something about unknowing or the unknowable final state, it will be wrong. It is better not to say anything about it. and see it yourself. See what is there to know. Find out. Contemplate. In your daily contemplation, include this thing. What is left to know now? Find out. Neelam has a question. Is it so that on the POK, parts of other spiritual paths also interact? Like there is love, devotion, and surrender for the knowledge path and Guru. Then there is action too involved by selfless service. Also, if the body or mind has impurities, then the disciplines related to body and mind are prescribed. Or is it so that POK is the ultimate path where seeker, after walking through other paths, then gets the true knowledge? If POK is such a direct path, why doesn't it appeal to all? Very good question. There are 2 or 3 questions here. So there are various viewpoints here, because now it is not about ultimate truth. We are talking about a method to reach the ultimate truth. And this method will be different in different times, in different countries, different places, different gurus. It will get a different kind of treatment. So the pure path of knowledge has nothing in it except knowledge. That's why it is called direct path, pathless path. It is direct. You sit with me, I tell you the truth, you see the truth. End of the story. In my experience, it takes 1 hour, maximum 2 hours. There is nothing else. That is the purest of pure. Now, why do we have purification? Why do we have service, love, devotion, surrender? It is not because the path has something lacking and we need to put it there to complete it. It is because the seeker has something which is lacking. It is because the seeker lacks essential qualities. To compensate for that, we need to teach other things first. That is one thing. Second, to make the knowledge permanent so that we don't fall back in ignorance, some practices are prescribed which are not really the path of knowledge, but they support the knowledge. Example is your awareness practice, isn't it? Or like she said, selfless service. Do I need to practice anything when I'm all day speaking like this about the unknowable, about the existence? Will I forget? No. So it is not really selfless. It is for me. I'm doing it to remember what I know. Other things are added into it to compensate for the imperfections in the seeker. Nobody is perfect. You know this formula. Nobody is perfect. So we allow people in the path of knowledge. We check. We don't allow everybody. You know that. I'm not that strict, but other teachers are very strict. They test the seeker for 10 years. I don't test anybody. There is a quiz in front of the program. Step number 1, when I ask some questions. That's all we do. While doing the program, I come to know who is not ready for this. Besides that, we allow. And then we try to compensate for the imperfections. We hope that the knowledge will somehow magically do the purification, will inspire the seeker to do service. There will be love and devotion in their hearts because they come to know the truth that everything is one and you are one. That is the highest form of love, spiritual love. We hope that they will surpass their limitations. So we allow people. We don't wait for them to become totally perfect like a diamond and we simply wear it. No, we take the coal. No problem. You are like a coal, piece of coal, but you have the potential. So let's go through the process of turning the coal into diamond. It only depends on the guru, how much hard work they are willing to do on somebody. When I see, or probably it is true for other teachers also, that the seeker is completely hopeless. He will not understand even one thing. And even if the person gets the knowledge, he or she, they will forget it. They will misinterpret it. Or it will harm them somehow. And then other paths are prescribed. So that when they are ready, they can join back. So we do not say that don't go on other path. We say, come to this path. And if you fail, then go somewhere where you can progress. You are saying that after walking through other paths, then the person will get the true knowledge. And my experience is it is not 100% guaranteed. Even after walking on the best path in the world, it is not guaranteed that they will get the knowledge. That is why we have this word called grace. Everything happens through grace. Sanskrit, kripa. Don't worry whose grace and who is giving the grace. There is nobody. So when the fruit is ripe, it falls in the bin of the gardener, farmer, not before that. It does not matter how many paths you walk on. If you're not ready, you will not get the knowledge if the grace has not happened. So we do say that, okay, try something else, but we do not guarantee that after doing this kind of yogic exercises, Kundalini or pranayam, in 3 years you will be ready for the path of knowledge. We never say like this. It is not a treatment. It is not a formula. We say try something else simply because failure is guaranteed on the path of knowledge. Only then we say it. Even then, some basic things are given to that person. For example, the Triagnosis program and Anugyan program, they are attempts to give something to everybody. No filter there, no exams, no writing, nothing, no practices, no awareness. Because they came here, we don't want to return them empty-handed. Okay, take this. But yes, those who go through the path of knowledge, even sometimes they do not get the knowledge. Even sometimes they relapse back in ignorance. Like curing a disease, sometimes the patient relapses back. It happens. I've seen it with my own eyes. Probably many of you who are in the group have witnessed it. This happens. So to prevent that, we have some practices which are borrowed from other paths. Otherwise, pure path of knowledge has nothing except a direct crushing of all ignorance, direct destruction. It is a destructive path, like told in your program. Nothing is gained, nothing needs to be done. Why doesn't it appeal to all? Just like I said, it should not appeal to all. That will be a disaster. It is not meant for all. Because they are not ready, isn't it? They are not ready to even understand basic things. If I see that the person is not able to understand even one line of what I say, there is no trick in the world that will make them understand and increase the appeal of this path. Actually, I've seen many people are afraid of this thing because it looks like everything is lost here. That is true, nothing is gained, but it also is worse than that. It looks like everything is lost, including the world, the body, the mind. What do we say? You are not that. It is not even yours. Me and mine, they are just thoughts. So why will it appeal to all? Because when you talk about all, majority, isn't it? All means majority. What do they want? Fireworks in the sky. Very, very juicy, dramatic and colorful, miraculous experience, isn't it? So much so that when they hear about the self-realization or self-knowledge, they imagine that I'll get a very, very miraculous, out of the world experience of who I am. That's what appeals all. So as you know, the path of knowledge is very straight. Usually some spices are added in it to make it a little bit interesting. But ultimately, when the truth is uncovered, the truth is bitter. It's not sweet at all. That's why it won't appeal to all. Some people have added sweetness in the path of knowledge in the form of devotion and all. Very great examples are Adi Shankaracharya himself and Ramakrishna Paramhans and Gyaneshwar. They have added a lot of sweetness. And what is the result? It got corrupted. The knowledge is swept aside. We don't need it. It's bitter. And the juicy stuff is taken as truth. And this is unfortunate, isn't it? So it will never appeal to all. Is that a bad thing? No. This is how the greater scheme is. The scheme of the existence is like this. It is like a pyramid. The bottom is ordinary people. As they progress, naturally, the number of such people becomes smaller and smaller, and the highest get the highest knowledge. Now, it will be a very big subject of argument. What is the highest knowledge? If you are in a democracy, the bottom part of the pyramid is powerful there. And whatever they say will be the highest knowledge, right? And the topmost, there will be a few handful people. and their voice will never be heard. What is highest? And you can see this is how this world is. Anyhow, we accept everything as it is and we continue. There's nothing wrong in my view. It has to be like this. When nothing can be done about the situation, we call it necessity. It is necessary that it will be like this. There will be a handful of people who will get knowledge. There will be very small amount, very small number of people who will find it attractive. And naturally, these people will be less in number, especially in dark ages. So it looks like that we are coming out of dark ages, but the effect is still there. Dark age is when the light completely disappears, light of knowledge. The knowledge is completely corrupted. Whatever is false will be called true. Whatever is true will be forgotten or will be called totally false, even harmful. So it has already happened, and a little bit of it is remaining, especially in this kind of age. It will never appeal to all. All is a big word. It will not appeal to even 1%. See, look, we don't have any advertisements. We don't have any fancy videos. All those. I try sometimes to put some color and spice in the videos, but I usually give up because they repel the people who are actually ready. And they see that, oh, it is just like any other video on the YouTube. So they reject it. So I need to keep a balance. There are some videos that have only knowledge. And there are some videos that have spicy stuff like tantric things and all to attract people. Miracles, magic. Drop your expectations. That's what I'll say. And we are lucky because, see, I need to teach 4 or 5 people every week. Imagine if I needed to teach 500 people in a tent somewhere outside. I'll never do that. I'm too lazy. I'll never do that kind of work. We are so fortunate that we are only 4 or 5 people in the meeting. It is good that it does not appeal to all. So the work is simplified. That is how it should be. No problem at all. Next question is by Anurikta. How many years you practice awareness practice to master it? When it became natural, I think I told you, this is not a secret that I do not practice anything. I tried to practice. It was not called awareness at that time. The teacher who gave me that practice called it mindfulness. It means the same thing. Whatever is happening in the mind, attend to it. Like this, he said. Pay attention. And some practical methods were also given, like label it. This is a thought. This is a negative thought. This is an emotion. This is a sensation. This is a sensation of pain. This is a sensation of hunger. This is voice of somebody. I tried that. It was so boring, and somehow I thought it's not natural. I gave up all that practice. It was borrowed from Buddhism. You can guess from that. So I never did it. So what is natural? Not forcing the practice. The knowledge should have so big effect on your mind, on your memory. It should make such a big impression that you never forget. And that is what happened. Why it was such a big deal for me, because I was searching for it. I was mad for it. So obviously when you're searching for something and you get it, it has to be important. And the thing is, it is not that I don't forget. It's perfectly okay to forget. And I never regret that I forgot something. And the thing is, natural thing is, whenever it is required, it is remembered. Sometimes it is required, it is not remembered. But I don't pay any attention. That seems most natural to me. That remembering does not mean parroting it like a parrot 24/7. Who am I? No. It means you do not fall in ignorance. It does not need any practice. That is why I say there are no practices on the path of knowledge. Just now I said it is very pure. You don't need to practice. How much practice do you need to remember that you are a woman or a man? The lion needs no practice to remain as a lion once the lion sees his true face in the still water. That is the story, isn't it? I am not sheep. That's all. How much practice will it require? So I did not do any practice. So I think in few days I gave up. It was too boring. So it should happen naturally, according to me. So why is a practice given to you? Why don't I give you the secret sauce that I have? You see, there is no secret sauce. There is no secret. There is no formula. And there is no practice also. What I say is, remember who you are. That's all. Remember the knowledge. That is the whole practice. I don't know whether people are able to do that or not. If they are not, it simply means that the knowledge has not happened properly. It has not made any impression, or it is not firm. Evidence was not really seen. Like when you go out, you can clearly see it is day or night. And then you don't need to remember that it is day or night. You don't check it every minute. Is the sun shining or not? Do you check it every 5 minutes, every hour? No. It is very natural. If the sun is shining, which you are, you yourself are that light, how much practice will it take to become introverted and look at it? Look at the sun that is shining already, always. It should not take any practice. Still, it is given to you so that you come to know where the knowledge has not happened. Whether it is day or night, you question it and check it again and again. It does not mean repeating that I am experiencer. No, it should become clear like a day what you are. It is not a memory-based practice. Obviously not a body-based, or it is not a work of any kind. It is not an action of any kind. Remembering means, have I become the sheep again? Check. That's all. That's all it is. Look in the mirror if you want. Mirror of your inner being. See the inner light. Is it there? Or am I the body and mind again? That's all it is. And everybody should do this kind of practice, not any other kind of practice. If you keep practicing for many, many years, it becomes totally obvious that nothing was learned. Nothing was understood. It should become your habit, isn't it? It should become natural for you to remain aware of your true nature. For example, when you learn to drive, it takes few months, probably 3 or 4 months, to know the driving skill, to get the driving skill. Do you keep learning for the rest of your life? No, it becomes your habit. The driver and the driven are one. So it should happen like this. It totally depends on the seeker, just like I said. And there are imperfections in people. So if you forget, don't try to look at practice. Look at your knowledge. Where am I lacking? Which quality is absent in me? What teaching was not proven? Which evidence did I miss? And if you find that, it's totally false, there is no experiencer, I am not the existence, it is proven beyond doubt, and then there is no need to practice. No amount of practice will give you the knowledge or awareness. Simply leave the path. That is the most beneficial thing to do. Remember, there is no need to do awareness practice. Recognize the value of what you got. Check the imperfections. Check the evidence. The teachings are true or not. Check it again and again. And then even if you forget, it will not be a big issue. Nothing big. Because who is this which is remembering? Who is this which is practicing? It is this body-mind machine. It will become dirt. It will become ash and smoke. Anytime it can happen. Life is momentary. So why are you so worried? You are not that. You are not the practitioner. You are the witness of practice also. All I want is, nobody should need to practice anything in their lives. You should enjoy your lives in the light of knowledge. However, like we discussed, there are impurities, there are imperfections. Not everybody recognizes the importance of the teaching or the truth. They still have identification with their mind and body. And the usual complaint is, I am not aware, I am not in bliss, my life is hell, your path of knowledge did nothing, nothing good, good for nothing. Yes, his essence is nothing. So, yes, the nothing is the best thing that will happen to you. So, to remove this kind of imperfection, impurity, we prescribe the practice, hoping that it will be dropped. Some people drop it soon. Some people take some years, then they get bored and they drop it. Hopefully, that answer is okay. You don't have to drop it right now. Someday, yes, keep doing it. Someday, when you are sure that yes, the practice is also illusory person is doing it, it will drop automatically. But to begin, you must do like this. Or you live a natural life full of knowledge and service, like she said. It is simply a trick to make you realize the importance and make you remember. Service is effective because you will come to know that you are so lucky, you are so fortunate. When you meet 100 people during your service, you will see that only one gets the knowledge. That is also a big number, isn't it? Out of 100, one gets the knowledge. Then probably you will realize that how fortunate I am. That not only I got the knowledge, I am able to teach it. Not only I see, I am able to show. Will you forget after this? So it is added in your course, in your program. Nothing is there without any reason. It is best to follow the instructions, and once the program is over, you can do whatever you want. No problem at all. Even I say, what will you do? In the light of knowledge also, it is completely boring life, so it is not useful, isn't it? Do something interesting. Now you can get all these fancy experiences and miracles and magical things. What else will you do? Because you will not like the world. So out of this world, go out of this world. No problem at all. Bhupen is saying, after a seeker goes through the path of knowledge or any other spiritual path with full dedication and devotion and throws all the ignorance out of him, how does he experience the oneness? Is it the way a beginner experiences, or is it different? Or is it so that he does not experience anything at all? Yes, option 3, nothing is experienced. Oneness is not an experience. Even after full dedication, devotion, etc., even if that person is experienced, fellow or beginner, there will never be any experience of oneness. That is the assumption in your question, that you are thinking that oneness is some kind of experience, which after a long time it will change or something like this. No. Now your homework is find out what is oneness, why it is not an experience. The clue is, if something can be experienced, it will become duality, not oneness. It will become two. That which is being experienced and something which is witnessing it, which is experiencing it. It won't remain one. Then I'm saying, can we say oneness is a feeling, not experience? The word feeling means emotion, isn't it? You feel something in the body or an emotion in the mind, and that is all experiences. So I'll ask, write down the definition of feeling and see, is it not an experience? Always remember, in this existence, there are only two. The experience which is changing, and the experiencer which is unchanging. You can imagine any word. It will fall in these two categories, one out of these two categories. There is nothing else. There is no third. And ultimately, these two categories are actually points of views to see the one. These are not two, non-dual. And the one is not even one. It is zero, empty. Oneness means emptiness. How will you experience that? Who will experience it? What kind of experience it will be? Of body, of mind, of world, of our object, supernatural? Contemplate on this issue. Why do we say it is unknowable? If it is an experience, it will be knowable. It will be imprinted on the memory. Then we should not call it unknowable. Why do we call it unknowable? It is not an experience. Anurikta is saying, I remember who I am, but I also try to stay aware and alert. Very good. There is a difference between aware and alert. Alert means you are attending to the surroundings, including body and mind. Everything around you, including body and mind. That is alertness. Like a hunter in the jungle. He is very alert. Like a soldier in the battlefield. That is called alertness. But awareness is not that dramatic. Awareness simply means everything is happening. I am the witness. It is very soft. No need to remain alert. You relax. Enjoy. Be natural. When the thoughts come like this, that I am the body, I am something in the mind, or I am some kind of feeling somewhere, and then you need to become alert. Oh, I am falling in ignorance. Let me check. Am I all these experiences that appear and disappear? Do I appear and disappear when these experiences appear and disappear? Do I come and go with the experience? Check. And that will bring you back in awareness. That will bring you back in knowledge. This will become your habit. It takes probably 20 seconds to say it, but it takes less than 1 second to realize it. Who am I? Who am I is not a thought. It is not a memory. See what you are. It takes less than 1 second. It is easier than breathing. Even breathing takes some effort. It takes some time. Checking what I am takes no time. Effortless. No need of being alerted. In fact, if you remain alert, it will cause tension in your mind and body. It will be always in fight and flight mode. What is happening? What is happening? Who am I? Who am I? No, that is not called practice. That is not spiritual at all. See what you are. Be what you are. Simple. Easier than breathing. That is why these meetings and practices are important, you see, because there is always some doubt in the mind of newcomers, new seekers. Simple formula is, don't be that which you are not. Don't trust. Don't believe these thoughts which say that you are something else. Because you cannot become what you are, the experiencer. You are already that. You cannot become it. You never become something else, so you cannot become it. So the negative thought is important. Don't be anything else, because you are that which you are already. So be aware of these thoughts that pull you back in ignorance. This is where you start. Slowly you will see that if there is happiness in your life, if there are happy occasions, the thought will be there. I am happy. And you can immediately see that it's not me. That's not me. It is something which is impermanent, state of the mind. It will come and go. So will you become less happy? No. It will be balanced. When you are not happy someday, you are suffering, you are sad. Same thought will come. I am sad. Why nothing good happens in my life, and so on, you see. That machine starts producing these thoughts. That is called the mind. And you can see that, no, these are also thoughts. That is also not me. I am not sad. And will the sadness go away? Will the reason for your suffering go away? No, it will never. But it will balance it. That's all. That is the effect of awareness. It is magic, but probably nobody will appreciate this thing right now. So continue your practice. How will you know that I need to be in awareness? Even if it is nothing, it seems like nothing, it has no real effect. There will be some days when you will not be in awareness, and once you come back in awareness, you will regret that I was not in awareness. That is how you will know that I don't want to leave this practice. That is when you will understand. That is when you will appreciate the value of awareness. This and this thing happened that day. I was totally unaware. I was acting in a most ignorant way. There was no balance. There was no light in me. There was no intelligence in me. I was like an autopilot, automatic robot. When these events happen, after practicing the awareness, and when you come back in awareness, after that happened, then you will know the value of it. Then if I offer you, take 1 billion rupees, give up all knowledge, give up all awareness, I'm going to pay you this much for you, this sacrifice. And you will say, no, thank you. I want my bliss. I want my awareness. I want my peace of mind. Not today. Today you are struggling to know what is oneness and whether it is a feeling or experience. It is very early for you. It is very early for you to taste the bliss. And that is why practice is recommended. Anurikta is saying, but I never encounter these kind of thoughts which say I am something else. That means you are progressing. Very good. That is in contrast to Naina's statement, where she still thinks that oneness is some kind of feeling. That means knowledge is forgotten here. So, yes, I know, because Naina is still on step number 2 or 3, and you are already practicing the awareness. So, as you taste awareness, you will get understanding of it. It is not something which can be described in words or language. You need to taste the sugar to know its sweetness. You cannot read about, you cannot discuss the sweetness. So it is a good progress that these thoughts that I am something else have completely disappeared. It is good. The thought that I am experience, that I am this, I am nothingness, I am who knows what. If they are not coming, it's better, isn't it? Peaceful. Do I need to always keep thinking, who am I? No. That is most natural, isn't it? Because you are that which you are already. Why do you pollute this peace with words? Don't. Yes, for some people, Like I said, I gave my own example. There will be awareness from the day one. You listen the teaching, even prognosis is good enough, it's very powerful, and you come in awareness. And we have an explanation for that it is their past life practice. Now, many people are going to laugh, but in India, it is perfectly okay. It's normal. We all have past lives here. Probably out of India, probably they have no idea. They don't know these things. So, in some rare cases, no practice will be needed and nothing will be given. It is not one lifetime, it is a practice of many lifetimes. We simply remember, just like you come out of the darkness, you remember, who am I? Yes, after listening or even looking at the Guru, some people simply remember who they are. That is because the practice never leaves them. Even death will not erase that impression. So that is a different topic and it is out of syllabus. We don't know whether this happens or not. But this is a good explanation. And the person himself will come to know that this path of knowledge does not look anything new. Whatever teachings are given, they are perfectly obvious. I mean, what else can be more true than this? It is perfectly true. And the teacher will say, look, what is the evidence? Tell me the evidence. He will say, who cares about evidence? I already know. But they will never be able to tell why they feel like this. Because it is simply many thousand years of practice. So they are rare, like Ramana Maharshi and so on. You see, many people are there. But rest of us, they need to do step by step, study, evaluate the evidence, go step by step. Do not worry about next life. Make it your last life. It is possible. Even if some people, they say, they are overconfident. I know whatever it is. You say, I know oneness, I know two-ness, everything I know. Still, they are advised to go step by step. It is always good to brush up your past life knowledge. Because I have seen that such people are very confident, but when I ask them questions, they struggle to answer. That shows that some forgetting has happened. Okay, refresh your knowledge. Yes, fine, you are a seeker since 1,000 years. It's okay, perfectly okay, good. But due to the process of birth, you have forgotten a little bit. So refresh, review. And they take only 1 day or 2 days to do it. Bhupen is saying, why does it happen so that even after knowing that I am the experiencer, I get the experiences of illusion? How can I live with this illusion without experiencing it at all? You see, experiences of illusion is not a good phrase. Experience is illusion. All the experience is illusion only. Can you stop this thing? Obviously no, because at the level of non-duality, the experiencer and experience are one. They never stop. How can I live with this illusion? Your whole life is illusion. This human being is itself illusion. Whatever it does is illusion. If you don't want to experience this, it will happen. Don't worry. That is called death. When there is no organism, there is no human being, this stops. The illusion is gone for that person. What is the assumption here? Your question is showing that you think experience and illusion are separate. And probably you also think that there is an experience of truth somewhere. So study that again. There is another assumption here that it is possible to live without experiencing anything, including the illusion. No. Question your beliefs. Question your assumptions. Do not forget the meaning of experience. All experience is false. What does it mean? It is an illusion, isn't it? There is no experience of illusion separate from experience of reality. It is not like this. All of it is illusion. What is reality? You, experiencer. Is it living without the illusion? No. It is witnessing the illusion. It is witnessing itself. Bhupen is saying, actually I could not relate liberation. That's why this question. Meaning of liberation is, there are no limits, there are no bounds. Find out if you are already liberated. Find out your bondage. What is your bondage? You are saying that I am the experiencer. Fine. Now find out in the limits of the experiencer, how it is bound. And by doing what will you liberate this experiencer which you are? So, meaning of liberation is not understood here. You are trying to liberate this puppet, mind body machine. Remember, it is not you. And it is also not bound. It is living its most natural life. There is an assumption that if the illusion stops, I'll be liberated. So that is wrong assumption. That shows ignorance. You are already liberated. Check this. Get the evidence for this. And don't try to liberate this thing, the mind body. It is not you. Second, it is good as it is. If its experiences stop, it will disappear. If it stops seeing, hearing, tasting, thinking, these are all experiences and these are all illusions, isn't it? All experiences are illusion. It will disappear, it will die in 5 minutes. So don't do this. Don't use your ignorance or bad definitions to torture this creature. Remember who you are. Find out if there is any bondage in you, and let this mind-body machine complete its life naturally in peace and bliss. That is intelligence. Whatever you are trying to do is complete ignorance. You can see the condition here. Seeker is not perfect. They forget. They misunderstand. They try to practice something else which was never told. So that is why Guru is needed. That is why practice is needed. We need to keep correcting. And if we cannot, then we ask them to leave the path, because it is going to harm that person, isn't it? If he keeps trying to get rid of the illusion, he will be no more. So that is the harm here. Misunderstanding can happen. Rikta is saying, am I right if I say thoughts interrupt the awareness? No, completely wrong. These thoughts are seen in awareness. They cannot interrupt the awareness, because awareness is simply witnessing whatever is happening, whether it is mind, body or world. Awareness is not absence of thought or a special kind of thought. It is being a witness to whatever is happening. So if nothing is happening, yes, witness of nothing in the mind, peace of mind. If thoughts are happening, witness the thoughts. Feelings, emotions, witness that. Actions, body, people, world, whatever is happening, witness that. If somebody comes and interrupts the awareness, no problem. No problem at all. Bring it back. It will come back. She's saying, when I get a thought, I completely get submerged in it and forget everything as long as it lasts. It is perfectly natural. After the thought is gone, do you say that I am the thought? Do you say that I am the one who was thinking, or I was the one who was witnessing? After submerging in thought process, if the ignorance comes back, then it is a big problem. If knowledge comes back after getting lost in thought process, not a big problem. It is very natural. Neelam is saying awareness eternally in the background. Yes, it looks like that I am not the experiencer for a while because the thought is dominating. When the thought is over, probably it is very important for this person. So it happens like this. But when it is done, when you resurface, you will see that, yes, I was always the witness. There was never a second when I was anything else. It was always there. The sun is always there, even if the clouds cover it. When the clouds go, sun is shining. It was never gone. So nothing is lost. And the problem is when thoughts are gone and you are still saying, I am thinking, I am the thought, I am like this, I am like that. That means the awareness did not come back. It is still thought. You're still, in the darkness. So whenever it comes back, you rewind whatever happened, like we rewind a movie. Whatever happened, you rewind it and see it again, this time in complete awareness. Shine the light. And the light is like this, that look, this and this happened. Such and such thought came. That's all it is. So the effect of darkness will be erased. The impression that the thought process made in the mind, on the memory, will be erased, because now it is now cleaned up by awareness. Even after this thing happened in darkness, you can still erase it from the darkness. You can still shine the light on it. And that is effective, isn't it? No problem. I forgot for 5 minutes. Let me rewind and see what happened in darkness when the awareness was gone. And it will undo the effect. And what will happen? Next time you dive into thought, another thought will come. I need to rewind it and check it later. That means it is still there is awareness. That means you are still detached from the thoughts that are happening. So always add a tail of awareness in thinking or in any action. Thinking is one action, emotions is another action, or whatever you do in the world, another action. Let it happen naturally. It's not a problem. Add awareness in it. What's the result? Next time it happens, probably it will happen with awareness, in complete light. That the mind is thinking like this, the body is doing something like this, and it will not be a thought, it will be simply seeing, like a background on which everything is happening, like she said. The symptoms of darkness or not aware state is, I am thinking like this, I am feeling like this, I am doing something. These thoughts, when they are believed completely as truth, that is the sign of unawareness. It is not that you need to change your language. No, simply no. You can use that language. Sometimes we say, I am speaking. Right now I am speaking. It's perfectly okay, isn't it? But I know that I am listening. I am not speaking actually. This body is speaking. The mind is producing thoughts. The body is producing sounds. I am the one who is witnessing, listening. But we don't need to say that. We don't even need to think that. It is perfectly obvious. Completely obvious. This is how it is. Yes, when I knowingly say that, no, I was speaking, that is the final truth. These are my thoughts. This is my knowledge. I'm the guru here. Now is the ultimate darkness. So when will this happen? With practice, with time, it will happen. That when you remember, you remember in knowledge, not assume the old ignorance again. That is a real danger. Forgetting is not dangerous. After that forgetting or action is over, saying that, oh, it was me, that is dangerous. Sometimes you will see, let us say you are in pain or you are afraid of something, you're worried about something, and in between you become aware, oh, this is happening in this mind, this is the situation, but it will not go away. Obviously, simply witnessing will not cause the pain to disappear or your situation to improve or to worry to disappear. But it balances it a little bit. The drama will not happen. That's all we can say. But yes, the fear will be there, the pain will be there, whatever is happening will be there. It won't be that heavy. It won't make that big impression on the mind. So awareness is not there to stop what is happening. It is simply to watch what is happening. If it wants to stop, it will stop. If that activity, emotion, thought, whatever is happening, if it needs to stop, it will stop. If it needs to continue, it will continue. So awareness is not an interruption or a manipulation of what is happening. It is simply being aware, like the word says. Be aware. This is how it is. Simple, isn't it? This is the whole awareness. Right now, this is how it is. Without taking the name of the experiencer or whatever, Atman, Brahman, whatever you are, there is no need to remember all these names. See, this is how it is. You don't need to recite the whole philosophy here. Your path of knowledge program. No, it is very simple. This is the case when stuff is happening, isn't it? When you are right in the middle of the cyclone of life. This is how it is. See how simple it is. Thank you everybody for attending today's meeting. See you next time. Namaste.